Welcome to the Thriving Therapreneur podcast, the show for ambitious therapists who are ready to unapologetically make more money, scale their impact, and build their dream coaching business. I'm Carly Hill, therapist turned coach turned CEO of a 7-figure online business. I created the Thriving Therapreneur podcast because I'm obsessed with helping big-hearted therapists outgrow the office and build successful and sustainable online businesses. So if you are wondering how you can continue to make an impact without sacrificing the life you love, welcome, Therapreneur. This is exactly the place for you. Think of it like the business school we never had. I am so excited to dive in with you. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Thriving Therapreneur podcast. I'm your host, Carly Hill, and today we're diving into a question I get all the time from potential clients who are thinking about joining the Therapist to Coach Accelerator. They ask, will I be successful? This is the big $1 million question. Am I going to be successful at being a coach? Will I be successful inside the Therapist to Coach Accelerator program? And I love this question because it's so layered. I love this question so much so that I'm doing a whole episode on it. So I need to know, well, what does success mean to you? That's always what I ask back when somebody says, will I be successful? I'm like, well, what does success mean to you? Is it working fewer hours? Is it making a certain amount of money each month? Is it impacting X amount of lives? Is it having assets such as digital products or launching a course? Is it all of the above? Success looks different for everyone. So today we're going to explore what it really takes to achieve success. So by the end of this episode, you'll have a deeper understanding of how to set yourself up for success. Instead of just asking, will I be successful? How you can set yourself up for success and what traits my most successful clients share. I love when I get this question. What are your most successful clients, Carly? Like, what do they have? What does it take for them? I'm going to share the inside scoop into the traits my most successful clients have, and then the mindset shifts that you need to embrace to thrive in this coaching journey. So before we can answer the question, will I be successful? We really do need to define what success means to you. So think about this for a second. Pause me if you need to, but I'd encourage you to write out what success actually means to you. Usually when I ask this question back, or I ask somebody, well, what are your revenue goals? Nobody really knows. I mean, sometimes they know, but sometimes they're like, honestly, I'm afraid to even claim it, or more the merrier. Like, no, we need to know, what does success mean to you? Is it hitting 10K months consistently? Is it having more freedom, more flexibility in your schedule? Is it being able to take X amount of vacations? Is it impacting a specific number of lives with your work? Is it creating a group program or a course that scales your reach? Success is not one size fits all. It's personal. So again, take a moment to reflect on what success looks like for you, not for anyone else, but for you. For me, success means freedom. Freedom to do what I love, to spend time with my family, to create business that really aligns with my values. But for you, it might mean something entirely different, and that's okay. So you need to do your own version of success before you can start building towards the success. What I'm assuming you really mean when you ask me or one of my team members, will I be successful? You're probably really asking, like, am I going to make my money back, Carly? And honestly, that's the wrong question to ask me or anyone. Instead, the question should be, what is my commitment level? And here's why. I have worked with hundreds of clients. They've made anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 in 4 months, starting from scratch. No LLC, no business entity, no niche, no signature program, no social media presence. But they never asked me if they'd make their money back. They asked themselves hard questions like, am I willing to embrace the learning curve? Am I willing to fail forward? How dedicated am I to showing up for this work, even if it feels hard? Because the truth is, no one can promise you success. No one can. I can't promise you success, but I can promise you that if you do not give up, if you commit to the process, you will achieve results. That is just not even in the question. If you do not give up, you will achieve results. And if you do need some proof, because when I was first starting out, like I surrounded myself with proof, and I still do as my revenue goals continue to go up and up and up, that this is possible. And I see other people reaching the goals, and not only just revenue goals, but life goals that I have. And I see other people achieving those life goals. And I'm like, wow, if it's possible for them, it's possible for me. We can always choose to be inspired or intimidated. I choose to be inspired. So if you need a bit of inspiration and you need to surround yourself with more evidence to help you with this mindset shift, go to my website, Carly Hill Coaching, and go look at the hundreds of testimonials that I have, screenshots, video testimonials of clients talking about all the success that they have had. Okay. And they all started from scratch, probably where you're going to start. Or maybe you already have a coaching business, but you just need help actually getting more leads and more clients and hitting your next level revenue goal. Regardless, if you need to surround yourself with proof, go check out the testimonials. But again, don't ask yourself the question of, am I going to make my money back? Instead, you need to ask yourself, am I committed? Am I willing to fail? Am I willing to embrace the learning curve? Am I willing to embrace the dip, knowing that the dip is going to happen? What do I mean by dip? I mean, you're going to have ups and downs in your coaching business, and you're going to feel a dip. And when the dip hits, you need to be able to respond instead of react. So how can we proactively prepare for this dip? And how dedicated are you despite this being hard and despite you being incredibly busy? Because everyone is busy. It's about resilience. It's about persistence. It's about believing in yourself enough to stay the course. So what do you need to do to stay the course? What traits do my most successful clients have? Number one, they know their why. They're not just in it for the money or the freedom. Those are great bonuses, yeah, but they have a burning passion for their service. This is what keeps them grounded during the early stages when they haven't, quote unquote, taken off yet. If they are their own ideal client, they're probably even more dedicated to their why because this was their own lived experience. Their passion is probably even more burning if it's somehow related to them or their personal life. This mission keeps my clients motivated. So when the tech feels overwhelming, or the sales didn't come right away, or they're just learning how to do copywriting and they're like, I'm getting crickets, they lean back on their why and their mission. And then they know that the money and the freedom will come after. Number two, they embrace the learning curve. So they're eager to learn everything that they can about messaging, about sales, about mindset, about tech, about marketing. They don't see all of these challenges as obstacles. They see them as opportunities to grow. They welcome learning. They listen to podcasts. They read books. They rewatch the trainings that I give them over and over again. We learn through repetition. Instead of complaining about how learning something is new or how learning something is hard or all of the little hiccups that they have along the way with this learning curve, instead they embrace it and they just know that it's part of it. It's like when you go to the gym for the first time and you're completely overwhelmed with all of the machines, or you don't complain because you're sore. You embrace being sore because you know that that is an indicator of you building muscle. So embracing the little hiccups and embracing the learning curve. Number three, they show up with questions. So instead of saying, I'm stuck, they say, here's what I tried. Here's the data. Now, how do I optimize this? They approach mentorship with a growth mindset. You can just tell the difference in the way they even show up in the first place. They are punctual, on time, on camera. They have their checklist of questions prepared. They are go-getters. They are proactive, and they're coming at it from a solution-oriented place versus being stuck in the problem. They're being part of the solution. Number 4, they step out of their comfort zone. So whether it's posting their first reel, going live, reaching out to potential clients in the DMs, like they dare themselves to fail. And when they do so, they watch themselves succeed. So yes, it's scary doing your first reel or going live for the first time, but they don't let the scariness stop them. They take the action anyways. They don't overthink it. They are willing to be uncomfortable. They are willing to step out of their comfort zone time and time and time again, because each new level brings a different level of uncomfort, and that just becomes their new normal. Number 5, they stay present. So instead of catastrophizing about the future, hello therapy word, right? Instead of catastrophizing about the future, they focus on what's in front of them. They trust the process. They take it step by step. So they're not playing this what if game or asking, well, what if I launch and nobody signs up? It's like, well, we actually haven't even dialed in your niche yet. Why are you catastrophizing about launching? How about we stay in the present moment and know that when problems arise in your business, because they will, and the bigger business you have, the more problems you will have. And when they do arise, you will be capable of solving them, and you will have support to solve them as well. So staying in the present moment, trusting the process, which leads me to number 6, is trusting the process. So from day 1, they commit to the steps that are laid out for them. They don't skip ahead or question every move. They trust the process works because they see it working for others. They trust the mentor. They trust the order of operations. So they trust that although they may not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, they trust that they may not be able to conceptualize how this all works, that they're committed and they're just going to stay present and they're going to trust the process, and they're going to know when they have questions, the questions will be answered, and they're going to know when problems arise, they'll be capable to solve them, and they will have support to solve them as well. Number 7, they dedicate the time. Some of my most successful clients are busy moms, juggling kids, partners, social lives, and their businesses. But they carve out the time because this work matters to them. Everyone is busy. You have to prioritize your business. It's not a hobby. It's a business. So there's no excuses. Everybody has the same amount of time. And whether it takes you longer to build your business than others, that's completely fine. But what you do with your time matters. And if you're willing to just dedicate the time, I mean, I'm talking dedicating like an hour or 2 a day. You will be in a great place if you can dedicate an hour or 2 a day to your business. So dedicating the time, prioritizing. So there's so many other things I could cover, but I would say these, when I sat down to make this list, like this is the 7 most important traits my clients have. They know their why. They embrace the learning curve. They show up with questions proactively. They step out of their comfort zone. They stay present. They trust the process, and they dedicate the freaking time. So when you think about asking the question, am I going to be successful? The better question to ask is, are you willing to adopt the mindset of a successful person? Just like all these traits I talked about, all of the traits that my successful clients have. Failure, there's no such thing. It's just feedback. So every misstep is a lesson. There's only feedback, and I want you to embrace it. This is why I always dare my clients to fail. I told one of my clients last week, I dare you to fail every single day for the next 7 days, and I want you to post all of your failures in the group so we can celebrate with you. This is an experiment that I want her to go do, and what she's actually going to report back to me is successes because she was willing to fail. You have to be willing to stay in the game, knowing that success isn't linear, showing up even when it feels hard. The long game, not the short game. Building your coaching business is a marathon. You can't just poof a 6-figure business. Nobody has overnight success, not without days and weeks and months of hard work. Then it's overnight success. You have to invest in yourself, time, energy, money. This is investments in your future. So you have to treat them that way. You have to treat them as investments and know that done is better than perfect. This is why I always talk about the 80-20 rule. We're 80% sure, and then we move on. It does not have to be perfect. Progress beats perfection every single time. So I hope this episode has shifted your perspective on what it takes to be successful. It's not about guarantees. It's not about quick wins. We love quick wins, but it's about commitment. It's about mindset. It's about taking consistent action. It's about trusting the process. It's about trusting yourself. It's about adopting the mindset of a successful person and really asking yourself the hard questions of, are you willing to do what it takes? Are you up for the challenge? Are you committed? Are you going to dedicate the time? Are you willing to try? That's what I had to ask you. And if you need to surround yourself with more proof, go look at case studies, go look at testimonials, and know that this is possible for you. And you can stay intimidated, or you can use that as inspiration. So if you're ready to take the next step, build the coaching business of your dreams, buy back your freedom, your flexibility, your security, we would love to invite you into the Therapist to Coach Accelerator. It's the A to Z. It gives you all the tools, all the support, all the strategies to make all of these goals a reality. Success is waiting for you. The question is, are you ready to claim it? Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Do not forget to subscribe, leave a review. I read them all. And share this episode with someone who you think needs a little bit of inspiration. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to the Thriving Therapreneur podcast. I hope that this episode has inspired you to reduce burnout, work smarter, and see the freedom potential you have as a therapist. We would love to have you inside the Therapist to Coach Accelerator Facebook group, where we have live trainings and cheat sheets on all things marketing, sales, and adding coaching ethically and legally. I am here cheering you on, and I'll see you around.